to get my camera set up here so it will stay. Okay, so sorry about that, but I'm a small-time guy doing a small-time job in my garage, and I thought if anything I can do here can help, I'll try and do what I can to show people. This is where people get tricked up on these buggies, is on the electrical system. And the electrical system on these are pretty simple. And I like to always, when I get these buggies, I always like to go through, clean up all the connections, check them. Some of these harnesses aren't in the best of shape, so I always go through them and check to make sure there's nothing shorting. You know, if all the wires are in good shape. I found a problem right here that you can see that this is exposed, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and wrap it with some black tape just to make sure that when I do put it all back together, it's not exposed anymore. I'm cleaning up all the wires as I'm going through, and I usually take a little bit of Hammerhead to clean them up so that it's easier to work with them when they're clean. You know, everything's clean. It makes things easier to work on. So we've got several wires that are going to need to be reinstalled, and so I just go through and wipe them all down, clean them all up, and reinstall them. As I'm reinstalling them, I'm inspecting them, because a lot of people think I'll just throw it back together. But if it has problems like this buggy did when I bought it, then it's probably going to have problems when I put it back together if I don't search down the problem that it had. So we want to make sure that we're going through everything and checking all these connections. So this buggy here had one bolt here that was loose, that was a ground, and so I'm going to put the ground back, and there's some other connections here I need to go through and check too. So okay, so this guy here is one of the grounds, and then we have another ground that goes with that, and let's see if I can find that ground. I've got some parts, the used parts, that I'm going to put back in it today until I get the parts that I've ordered coming in on Monday. I'm just going to clean these up and put them back in for now, and but I'll definitely put the new parts in once they come in, because I'm going to be selling this buggy. That's kind of what I do. I buy them, fix them up, and I sell them here and there. So it's something that I do as a kind of a, like I said, fun for me. And I don't want it breaking down on any little kids, you know. I want it to be something that, and we don't have one of these shops here in this town. We don't have in Albuquerque, New Mexico, we don't have one of these dealerships here in this town. So it's important for me to make sure that I get everything put together right. Now on this guy right here, I do believe I have a starter solenoid somewhere. This one was good. I didn't have any problems with it. And I'm also going to look into my little box of goodies to see if I actually have one of these. I have this on order. But I'd like to see, I mean, this is the stuff that causes problems. This is what causes, see the dirt, all that stuff? That's what causes problems. That's what makes the buggies run like crap. So You know, that's what causes your buggies to misfire, die on you, all that stuff. And it's very easily solved by just replacing these components, and they're very cheap. So you don't have to spend a lot of money making repairs on these buggies. So give me just a couple minutes here, guys, while I search down another starter solenoid. I know I have one in here. What is this? Oh. Okay, so we have some new components that we can put in. Just sitting in my grab bag. Old regulator, a new regulator, but you can obviously see that they're different. They connect differently. But when you look at the connections, you can see that they're pretty much the same, but they're connected different. Same regulator, different connections, and these are fried. These are absolutely fried. But I'm gonna, because this is for, I'm not gonna cannibalize one good one for another one. I'm just gonna go ahead and clean these connections up for today. And I'll zip tie this for right now to see if that doesn't help. But this may have some issues internally that could be causing it to die, lose power, because you drive it for a few minutes and then the thing dies. So the guy that I bought this from, this is what a new solenoid should look like. This is the end of what he's got in it. So when you start jimmying things, you really start changing up the dynamics of everything. Yeah, this is just the starter solenoid. As long as it turns it over, you're okay, I guess. But the whole point is on these things is to keep them the way they came from the factory, so that they can stay running. That's I can't stress that enough. I don't know how many cars, trucks, hot rods, I don't know buggies, everything that I've ever bought in my life, when it has a problem, it's usually electrical, fuel, and those problems persist as long as you've got stuff like this going on. This garbage needs to be fixed. So I'm going to take a few minutes here. I'm going to shut down for a little bit. I'm going to solder on. I'm going to look at my cannibalized harness over there that I'm cannibalizing to make the repairs on this buggy. So I'm going to look for a connection that this will connect into, and put the new solenoid on this harness with a new connection from my donor harness. So give me a few minutes. I'll be back after I get this all soldered up, and we'll continue on. I'll show you what we did with this after we're done soldering.